Hi, I'm Meera Allen with your Manifesting Destiny Moon Update. We are coming to a full moon in Gemini. Now, it's a little bit special with the timing and the dates. So we've got 12 of the 12th, so 12th of December, 12/12. And for New York, it's actually going to be 12:12 a.m. on the 12th. So that's a lot of this 12/12/12. And you think about what is all this 12/12/12 about? Well, you think about the 11/11, it's the opening, it's a gateway, it's a new way of shifting your consciousness into an opening and reading those signs and entering a new space of perspective or way of thinking. And if you think of the 12/12, that's an ascension above that. So this is preparing ourselves for the next heightened level, and it's preparing ourselves for 2020 as well. Now, this full moon, it's in Gemini. Gemini is all about communicating, how we relate to those around us, how we relate to the space around us, and how we communicate. So think of all those mercurial aspects of yourself, how we communicate in our technology, how we communicate with our colleagues, how we communicate in writing, legal letters, communicating in emails, SMS, Instagram, direct messages, Facebook, like the communication face to face. That's getting rare to have so often. So really, it's a time of communicating in a very clear way and succinctly as well, and communicating what's within you is what's going to be reflected around you. So that's one aspect of this full moon in Gemini. The other thing that's happening astrologically, which is really important, is we've got Venus, our closest planet to the planet Earth, the planet of love that's close to us, really conjunct to Saturn, really close to Saturn at the moment in the sky at the time of this full moon. So Saturn, what is Saturn? Saturn's like the slowest moving planet. It takes 28 Earth years for Saturn to do one rotation around the sun. So 28 Earth years for Saturn just to do one of its years laps around the sun. This is the planet of lessons. So Saturn is all that slow, heavy moving lessons. And those lessons can be karmic lessons. Those lessons can be especially related to Venus because they're so close together. What is Venus related to? Your heart. Where are your lessons in relationships? This full moon is going to be the opportunity to communicate to yourself, to reflect from your patterns from the past, to see what cycles have shifted or changed for you in terms of your relationships. And this is not only romantic relationships, this is relationships in all aspects of your life. And what are we? We're all humans relating to one another. So this time is a really beautiful time to close off your year and have a look, maybe do some journal writing and have a look at how your relationships have changed over this year, how they've moved forward, how you've progressed, who you've moved towards, who you've moved away from, what things will you not accept anymore in relationships, and what things will you now only have as a requirement in relationships for those people that you share your heart with. So really have a good look at relationships and how you communicate to those relationships around you. And the most important relationship is the relationship we have within ourselves. What is your relationship to your own inner subconscious? Really focusing on that, Greg Braden and Dr. Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton, and that looking at the quantum field. How do we relate to the inner part of ourselves, which is relating to the outer world around us? This is critical right now. What is the relationship that you have with your own inner dialogue and the observer? How does that happen for you in your meditation practice? How does it happen when you're in a creative space? How does it happen when you get brain and heart coherency, where what you're thinking, what you're speaking, what you're doing, and what you're feeling are completely relating in alignment and flow? So these are the things to think about. There's a lot to think about this particular full moon in Gemini. And Gemini, it's the twins. It's both sides of us. It's the duality. It's our masculine side of us that we're doing, our yang, and then it's our feminine side of us, our receiving, our self-care, our rest, our yin. How do we get the balance of those two? It's the balance between our logic versus our intuition. It's our balance of how we're caring for others and how we're caring for ourselves. It's the inner, the micro, and the macro. So this full moon, a lot of things will be amplified. I really, really encourage you guys to write and communicate first and foremost with yourself, and then have a look at how that communication style maybe has changed within you and how that's reflected in the relationships all around you. Have a look at your lessons with Saturn really close to Venus, that heavy moving planet of lessons. It can hit some people really hard at the moment and everything may feel quite heavy and slow. For those of you that have done the work and the introspection and the forgiveness and the shifting through and the willingness to see where you need to grow and change and evolve, you guys might find it lighter entering into 2020 and your relationships will feel a lot lighter. My name is Meera Allen. I hope you enjoy these moon updates. Subscribe, share if this was important for you. Please do share this with other people or comment below if there's any questions, and enjoy this full moon in Gemini. Namaste.